I woke up this morning and I said,
every day is a good day. Now I'm going to try to sneak up on some fish over here. These are my seasonal resident geese. They laid eggs last year, but a fox got them at the end of the season. I'm thinking they're going to give it another try this year. I've been fishing my pond about half an hour every day. I feel like I got a good grip on bass fishing now. So I've been fishing these 4-inch Yum Dinger worm style baits. These have been really good for bass for me. That's how they look. They're a little smaller than the normal Senkos. And I've been pairing it with this small finesse wide gap hook. How I rig it is just straight through the middle of the worm. No weight at all. 30-pound braid on my bait caster, just so it looks like that. I've also found that these bass like this structure and when there's some shade on the water. So, right past the shoreline, see if one bites. Or I'll try to cast as close as I can to these sticks without getting tangled. See if a fish comes out to eat. Give it a couple jigs. Fish on, baby. Oh, so satisfying, man. So fun to catch these little guys. Right there on the upper lip. It seems to happen a lot. May not be the biggest, but when you see that line start moving on top of the water, when you set the hook, it's the best feeling ever. Almost the best feeling ever. It's got a full belly too. I've also been keeping track of water pressure, and it seems like the lower pressure, there's more bites. There's a storm coming tomorrow, so there's low pressure right now. Now all these baits sink at a different rate. The one I'm fishing with right now, this Yum Dinger, sinks about a foot every 3 seconds. So I can really let it sit there. And the water is so clear here, sometimes I'll see the fish come up to it, and when I'm not even jigging it or anything, that's when they'll bite. So I'll give it a couple jigs and I'll let it sink for about 5 or 6 seconds. Most of the time, the bites come when it sinks like that. It's pretty cool to have this backyard experimental pond. You can try out different techniques and stuff. I've caught some pretty big fish in here too. Some crappie also, but there's not that many big ones, maybe like 4 or 5. I want to go to a place where I could catch some big ones on the regular. So I'm going to head up to the local lake in a minute. I'm going to try to catch one more and then I'll head out. Just one more, just one more. Let's get one more before we go. Oh, got one. Another little guy. Oh, I just seen that line start moving. But man, it's really cool how the bass look so different from one another. Hooked him in a very similar spot right on top. But this one, oh look, he's been eating good. I wonder what he's been eating. Belly full. Nice stripes on him. Beautiful fish right here. Nice largemouth. And before I head out, let me show you what I've been working on for the past couple months. Pretty much every day, just working with things around the house. This caution tape up here, this is going to keep the deer out of your orchard. So you don't have to build a fence so high. You just put some sticks and put caution tape around it. The deer see that and they won't jump over it. Now this is what I'm most excited about because it's finally spring. All my 24 trees are finally blooming. Here's the mistake I made last year on the pluot tree when I was pruning it. I cut off almost all the branches. And pluots, plums, most stone fruit only grow fruit on 1-year-old growth and older. So I got 2 buds on this one. No fruit, unfortunately. All this stuff is going to be on my second channel, A Man and His Land, if you want to go into depth with it. But while you're watching this, maybe you can help me with this Asian pear because it's got a problem and it's keeping me up at night. I don't know if you've ever had one of these, but they are so delicious. The only problem, the bark's coming off in some places. I feel like maybe the tree got cold at night. It froze and damaged the bark. What do you guys think? Otherwise, a lot of buds on it. It's gonna have a lot of fruit. Anything I can do to save that Asian pear, I would hate to see that thing die after all the work I put into it. My white nectarine, gonna have tons of fruit on that one. Another Asian pear, oh, beautiful buds coming out. Persimmon dormant right now, mulberry just coming out, pomegranate right here, leaves emerging, beautiful. So rewarding having your own garden. Got everything from apples to zucchini. Forgot I actually need this rod. I want to show you another thing that I've been working on for almost a year. A year comes up in June. Oh, this project has gotten way out of hand. Another thing I'm trying to do, which I will be doing in the next couple weeks, is adding solar to this hillside. 16 kilowatt hours of panels, 30 kilowatt hours of battery storage, and more details. I'll just put it all in the second channel when the time comes. Somebody also gave us that RV right there for free. At an estate sale. They just needed to get rid of it, so we got it for free. It's a 1987 Winnebago. Doesn't run, but if I can get it to run, I'm gonna take some trips in it. So this is what I've been working on since June. It's almost done. 200,000 pounds of crushed stone of retaining wall block into this fire pit that I built with my own hands. A lot of work, but man, life is so busy. I just don't have the time to work on it for the consecutive days that I need to just finish it up, but it turned out a lot better than I was hoping. I'm really happy with it. And if you didn't already know, you can stay at this place, fish the pond, try to catch some bass. The fishing is getting really good. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to try to find the place to stay at. Of course, I'm in California, about 2.5 hours away from San Francisco. Now for real, let's go to the lake and see if we could find some crappie and bass. First time really going for crappie and bass from shore for me, ever. All right, let's see what we can find here. Beautiful day, not hot at all. So remember how I was saying that some baits sink at a different rate? Well, these power baits sink really fast, and I want to be able to fish it deeper and faster here. It's not like my pond, it's a lot deeper, so I want to be able to cast this out and have it sink fast so I can fish more area. For that, I'm using this fluger with a prototype rod I'm working on, and I'll put that finesse wide gap hook on the bottom. I'm also going to put a dropper loop on top, put a little crappie jig. Maybe I can catch some crappie too. So this is how the rig looks. I got the worm on the bottom, on top of it, dropper loop with a regular bait holder hook, and that's got this 2-inch Kitech Easy Shiner. And bass will bite that, crappie will bite that. So we're gonna give it a couple casts and see what happens. Excited. We'll give this a try right here in the shallows. 6-pound test, worm only. Check our drag, a little tighter. Yeah, that looks good. I don't really know where to begin freshwater fishing, but man, the water looks beautiful. No wind, no swell. Days like this make me really want to get the boat out. Get some kokanee, try for crappie. I think that's next on the horizon. This cove over here looks pretty nice. Big drop off, deep. I guess there's no way to learn other than just do it. I'm just gonna fish this cove, and if I don't get anything, I'm gonna call it, go back, get my boat tagged. Oh, I had one, but it came off. Decent bite too. I'm gonna work my way past this log, just in case I do get a bite, I'll have somewhere to land it. One good bite so far, that's promising. I forgot, I also have to take into consideration that I'm using mono, not my typical braid, and mono has a good amount of stretch, so if I want to set the hook, I really got to set it hard. I'm actually going to re-spool this with some 10-pound braid, maybe 20-pound braid. Man, I don't know if you can see that, but this line is frayed pretty bad. It's probably not 6-pound test, it's probably 4-pound at this point. I'm afraid if I set the hook hard, the line's going to break. Got it, luckily, somehow. bass or what? Oh, popped off. Oh man. Ah, that looked like a good size smallmouth or largemouth. Couldn't tell for sure. That was nice though. Let's put that hook in a new position. Cast it out again. I'm a lot more confident fishing this rod. Just gotta let it get down to the bottom. It takes a long time, and you really get so much more control with braid and a bait caster. So much more control of exactly where that line is. Oh God. Come on. Well, snagged that one, broke it off, tying another one on. I'm feeling pretty confident right now with this bait caster, 30-pound braid. And I don't think I'm doing too bad for the first time out here bass fishing. I just got to be careful when the line gets close, because it just goes straight down just how that pitch is. Steep straight down, so easy to get snagged on all these rocks. After I cast it out, I'm letting it sink. I can just continue to let it sink really slowly until it stops coming out. Then I know I'm on the bottom, and I'll start the retrieve because I get as much fishing time as I can. I don't want to start the retrieve or else I'm not on the bottom all the way out. So just trying to get as much action in the strike zone as possible. Let's go. Oh yeah. Tighten down on the drag a little bit. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Oh wow, that's a nice one. Really nice one. Oh, bigger than the pond fish, that's for sure. Nice one. Oh wow, what kind of fish is that? That's a bass. Woo! Hell yeah. That's a nice largemouth. Nice. Oh yeah. What is that? Small mouth, large fish, reddish eyes. Beautiful looking fish though. Nice, right? Looks like a largemouth, but his mouth is so small. So is it a largemouth or what? But I have another quick question. You can keep a certain amount of bass, largemouth and smallmouth. Would it be legal for me to keep and put them in my pond? Because this would be a nice one for the pond. Holy moly. Nice, nice. The braid and the bait caster make all the difference. You just have almost no control with the spinning rod, but with the bait caster, you really have a lot of control over the minute details to get that bait where you want it. And when you do get that bite, no stretching that braid, it's an immediate hook set. You either get it or you don't. Once I know I'm on the bottom, start that retrieve with some little pops, giving it some time between the pops for the fish to bite it. And if there's any weight, bam, set that hook. So I'm sure there are other types of worms like this that are heavy and that'll sink fast. But for my purposes today, this Berkeley worm is working the best. Actually, it's really the only option unless I put a weight on my line, which I'd rather not do. That's all. Very simple. Last cast in this spot. Kind of funny is that this is a Bass Pro Johnny Morris Carbon Light with the Pro Qualifier bait caster, and this is the first rod and reel combo that I bought when I started this YouTube journey. That was about 10 years ago, and I bought it to fish for rockfish. And surprisingly enough, fishing for rockfish from the ocean is still what motivates me the most to get out there. But it's about a 4-hour drive for me where I live now. And I thought I'd try out a couple of different species to try to get me motivated out here to do some different types of fishing. Crappie is on the list, bass definitely, kokanee for sure too. But I just wanted to give you guys a little update video, see how things are going around my neck of the woods. I think that's it for today. I'll see you guys on the next one. Let me know about that pear tree though. That's still bugging me.